Yeah, I got one. The Nintendo Switch 2. Nice and fresh out of the box. The brand new Nintendo console everybody has been gushing to get. How did I get one? Well, on a nice Thursday morning, I went to check online and saw randomly Target limited availability. So early morning, I drove over there since like most people, I needed to get me one. There was a guy already there, and after waiting for 2 hours in the store, since they had not unloaded the truck, they came over and showed us a Switch 2. Just a single one. But unfortunately, I had to give it to the guy before me. That was the only reasonable thing to do. But there was another Target out there, and I thought, well, I mean, wouldn't hurt to try. And I rushed in, saw the man at the counter with 2 other customers ahead, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna get one. But wait, we're good. They're getting scammed and buying overpriced Apple headphones. I'm getting scammed and buying an overpriced Nintendo console. I say to him, do you have a Switch 2? He says, yes. And we walk over about 2 feet, and there it is in the glass case. He takes it out, brings it to the checkout. Now, it's only the normal Switch 2, so that's $450 out. You know, I had to buy Mario Kart, so that's another $80. I also got food, so let's say that's another $10. $540 down the drain, and I have the latest hype. Honest opinion? Was it worth it? No. But let's get into the console. So opening up, you get that brand new Switch 2. The screen itself is a lot bigger. And with the console, I do appreciate the bigger size. Impressions were pretty good. I like the Joy-Cons, the snap of the controller with the magnets. They all feel good, and it's nice in your hands, even though it really is just a bigger version of what the Switch 1 had. Now, I have no idea if there's drift or not, and I hope not, as a new set is like $90. News though, even with the overpriced controllers, old controllers are cross-compatible. I didn't want to buy a Switch 2 Pro controller, so I'll just use my old ones even if they're third party, because they still work. The accessories are about the same. The wrist straps are strange to me, but I don't use them anyways. The Switch 2 is very slick. I will say I wish the controllers came in different colors. Don't get me wrong, I like the black and the color tint, but some more flair would have been really, really cool. The dock is also quite nice. The extra USB and Ethernet is a must. Maybe Smash Online won't be the most buggy mess anymore. And who am I kidding? Smash players won't buy Ethernet. They won't even buy deodorant. Another thing that's kind of good about buying Mario Kart separate is that I get to see the game cases, and ugh, they are just ugly. Red just doesn't work for me, as it's like this complete red on red. The spines are pretty cool, and I do kind of like the design, not just having the red slide like the Switch 2. But what if I just... What if I just... that actually works so much better. Not just for the Switch 1, but also the Switch 2. Wait, why does it work so well? I guess I'll be switching out all my Switch cases with Switch 2 cases and vice versa. And of course, for science, we have to taste test the cartridge. Okay. Moment of truth. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's so much worse. Ew, I hate that. It lingers for so long. After, me tasting death, I had to update and transfer all my data. I was a little worried they would not be able to read my SD card since I don't have an express one, but that wasn't even an issue. And with 256 gigabytes of storage, you're kind of set for a while. Like, personally, I'm probably not going to buy an SD card till the second year of the Switch. I got the console ready, and ooh, that opening was nice. Playing around, testing with settings, I was like, wait, no, what? This can't be right. Am I missing something? See, I wasn't missing something, and my thoughts exactly from this point was, am I just holding a Switch 1 that's just bigger? Because that's exactly what it felt like. It feels so safe and almost identical to the Switch 1. But I guess everything has rounded edges now? Like, where's the charm? Where's the, oh, this is a brand new Nintendo console? Right? There's no Mii's, there's no themes, there's no jingles. All the little icons spin like the 3DS, or like the custom music with a little animation like the Wii. All I feel here is, well, it seems safe. Well, safe isn't the word, it feels too corporate. This is not Nintendo. It's almost boring. It feels like, well, an iPad. And what's crazy, all the stuff they could have done to make this console even cooler than the Switch 1, they have done before. We've been begging for custom themes, Nintendo. Like, if you're going to go for the iPad look, at least do that. Ah, yes, black and white, my favorite. Can we at least get the full color spectrum? Or have little opening scenes where the characters do a little interaction like the Wii. The Switch 2's initial opening was so cool, seeing it load everything, but it hasn't done that once. Can I get that every time I open my system? Like the GameCube. And I miss the old Nintendo. They were scared or something. Maybe they were like, oh, the Nintendo curse again, where they make a console that sells better than anything else, and then their next one flops miserably. This just feels empty. Every time I open my Switch, I'm like, okay. I'm not excited to just play around with the console. And they're gutting Mii's. Those were always so fun to just mess around and make characters. Now they're shoved into a section somewhere in the dark abyss of settings. They even took them out of Mario Kart. Like, this would have been really cool. Maybe on the home menu, instead of going from game to game with a controller, you have the Mii run around and pick things and they smack the game you want. And that would have worked really well with the mouse. But no, it's just Switch 1 with rounded edges. And everything else, like the eShop and the news, are so lifeless. The new eShop is even more dead than the Switch 1. And some things were just made worse, like the digital game cards. Even Switch 1 has to deal with this now. First, I thought, wow, this is such a cool idea and so consumer friendly. Little did I know. This makes it so that I can buy a game, and it can only be used on one console at a time per account. Now, yes, I can give it to my friends to play, but only under the supervision of Big Nintendo. If they don't want me sharing, I can't. People have literally seen that if you download Fortnite, a free game, they cannot play it on two systems they own at the same time. All this does is control how you share games. It has its upside like game sharing, but it also just seems like a more complicated and restricting way to do what they were already doing on the Switch 1. They did bring back local game share like the 3DS, so I'm not too mad, but it still just seems like a dumb decision. Now yes, you don't buy the console for the UI and experience, you buy it for the games. I'll say this, old games run great on the Switch 2, they look cleaner, run better, load faster. I played Dark Souls, Bomb Rush, Smash Bros, and even Mario & Luigi, and compared to Switch 1, it's night and day. Now, some games require you to buy an upgrade pack, and you can go stick that upgrade pack up yours, Nintendo. Like $10 to upgrade an old game like this, and it's not even worth it. Somewhat worth it with new DLC, and the camera option. Oh, let's talk about that. The new Switch 2 feature. Number 1, the camera and game chat. The most useless just use Discord feature I've ever seen. It's game chat with friends, and if you pay $50 more for a camera that you can buy off Temu for 3 cents, face imposed on the game. This is the most nothing feature I've ever seen in my life. I'm not going to go to my friend and be like, we should use Nintendo game chat. No, I'll be like, yo, hop on Discord. My friend Sonic Ray J did make a good point that because you can limit people, this is a really good option for young kids to play games with their friends and not have to worry about Discord and getting involved in social media. This is a great option for kids if you didn't have to pay for it. Yeah, game chat functionalities have a paywall. Nintendo will most likely make this free when they see nobody will pay for the feature. Now, I don't know if you just have to pay for online or a whole other thing. And there's a whole button on the console dedicated to this. Like, why? This definitely justifies the $80 to $90 price tag of controllers. The other new feature, this Joy-Con is a literal mouse. Now, I think that would be really cool for certain games, and you could do some really cool stuff. Like, some people are playing Fortnite with Switch 2 mouse. But here's what I see happening. It falls into the pile of obscurity. Maybe 1 or 2 games use it really well, and others use it poorly and never used again. It will be an afterthought. Maybe playing Real the video game will change my mind, but very doubtful I'll even pick that one up. Now, other than play Switch 1 games and stare at a lifeless UI, what can you do? Well, of course, new games like Mario Kart World, also Streets and Elden Ring. Even though these are some top tier video games you can play on this console, they're definitely just like oh, look at what we can do. We can run Elden Ring and Cyberpunk. Also, another big thing is GameCube compatibility. Now, you have to buy the expansion pack, and that's another $40 out. And with only 3 games, we got WindWaker, F-Zero, and Soul Calibur. I mean, really good games, especially WindWaker. That will hold you for a while. 2 things though, just let me hear the jingle every time I open it. Actually, 3 things. Why not just have the games you want to play individually on the home screen as an option, so you don't have to go through this menu and scroll through all these games, especially with NES and SNES. And lastly, the worst and most noticeable part is the input delay. Me and my friend looked at it and we just Gus. Now, I think this will be fixed, but as a fighting game player, you can't expect me to play Soul Calibur with this kind of delay. Other than GameCube, of course, we got new games, but really the only one people are playing and the only reason people are buying this console is for Mario Kart World. This game is worth it. Now, technically, I spent $580 just to play WindWaker and Mario Kart. Mario Kart World is such a good game. The character design, the map, it takes a new take on Mario Kart, and we needed this fresh take. This is the first Mario Kart post-Odyssey, post-3D World, so there's big influences there. Since Mario Kart 8 has almost been going for 8 years now, the approach of World is quite different. They take Mario Kart to the next level. Now, $80 of next level? Not really. Big upgrades all across the presentation, just looks so much better. This feels like the next evolution of Mario Kart. Mario Kart World is an interconnected Mario Kart. No longer just go to track A, then go to track B. You're racing to the next track. And also a free roam option. This is my favorite way to play. Just messing around, seeing other racers, going to do challenges, catching Nabbit, murdering toads, getting into vehicular accidents. Mario, look out! This is now my preferred way to play Mario Kart. I can't go back. You can fast travel between maps and characters. You got stops with food that give you new skins depending on the characters, and loads of characters to play from OGs like Mario to literal dolphins and penguins. And the plan. How is he driving? I don't know. When almost every Mario enemy got a spot on the roster, it's a very full, especially with all the costumes for mainline Mario characters. I will say they need sub-menus for the skins, as the character select screen can be a bit chaotic. One thing we did get to is that the carts are now pre-done, no more custom carts like in 8, but I feel like for World, that's a better option. Now, racing, there are 2 main modes for this: Grand Prix and Knockout. Grand Prix is the standard 4 races, get to the top, get as many points. Still have breaks, even though race 2 is like the drive to the second track and then a race around it. It makes the races feel very fast, and I would say it's a little disappointing because sometimes I do want to loop around the tracks a little bit. Though is there are 24 racers, which makes this game very chaotic. It is all over the place with the items, the racers, you're all bunched up, but with Mario Kart, the chaos is the best part. And new mechanics like rail grinding, air tricks, and wall riding. Rail grinding and wall grinding have been taking me a second to get used to, but I've seen some people do some crazy tricks and skips with them. Sometimes the skips feel a little inconsistent, as I'm like, oh, let me try and jump this with a feather, save so much time. But then Lakitu's like, nah, you can't do that. Come on, almighty Lakitu, please let me take this shortcut. No. Personally though, I feel the best way to play this game is Knockout Tour, a mode where you slowly race to see who gets first. But if you are not in a certain place by a certain time, you are out. These races don't have a break like Grand Prix, and you are truly just driving from one place to another. This is the most fun way in my opinion, as the tension is higher. If you're in 5th, needing to get 4th before the time runs out. Now, I've only played against bots, but I bet against real people because he's so chaotic. Because even in 4th place, once you're on the final race, 4th place is getting gold mushrooms. I do like the fact that the skins and the characters and the cards, it feels like you're always unlocking something and you want to unlock more. I don't like how you unlock some of the random enemies like the dolphins and Delfino people. It's a little wild. Someone behind you has to get Kamek, use Kamek, and it's entirely a gamble on what character you get. Like main characters like Roy, Daisy, and Rosalina at least make sense, beat the Grand Prix. But characters unlocks tied to the heart of the cards is not a good play. Like if I keep getting Nabbit, if I get Nabbit one more time, I'm gonna lose it. All the legacy and new maps feel very fresh, and the fact that every race can sometimes be played backwards depending on if you play Knockout or Grand Prix makes them always feel fresh, especially with shortcuts and tricks. Now, I will stay far away from competitive Mario Kart, especially in this game. I will say, with how these map works, it's sometimes disappointing in Grand Prix because you see part of the map and you've used it before when you were just free roaming, but it's like you never get to use those parts of the track in the actual race. The other thing about the chaos is that with the 24 racers, items are just flying all over the place. Like with most Mario Karts, no race is ever the same, and this one is so much more true. Because on the road sometimes when you're racing between tracks, there's random car placements, and sometimes enemies with spike balls and bombs and hammer bros. So every second there is always something making you have to react. No two races will ever be the same in Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is a great launch title. It works, it gets you to see what's possible in the Switch, but it also has so much to do that you're never really bored. This is the best part of the Switch 2. Mario Kart World, this game is undeniably a lot of fun. It feels fresh after having to deal with 8 for so long. It's really what we needed. But does it justify the Switch 2? Absolutely not. I personally believe that if you are not dying, and I mean dying, to play Mario Kart World, there is no reason to get a Switch 2. Yes, Mario Kart World is loads of fun. I will be greatly enjoying my time with it, but there's not much else to do. You could pay $10 for Worst Astrobot, I guess, but no one's going to do that unless they're game reviewing. You could also play games that you most likely have already played, like Elden Ring and Streets.
This is Luke from Streets.
Which is a marvel they can run. I am surprised no Marvel Rivals, though. Probably wouldn't go well with Switch netcode. In the words of someone who is dying to get a Switch 2, it's not worth it. It's just not. Don't get FOMO, because to be honest, there's nothing to do. Unless, again, you're just needing to play Mario Kart with a passion. Wait till Donkey Kong. Wait till Dusk Bloods. Wait till there are actual games to play, and then I say go get it. But by that time, it's going to be cheaper. There's going to be more GameCube games. The price will be more justified. Now, you're just buying a bigger screen for your Switch 1 games. You're paying for them to run better, and it's just not worth it. Do I think the Switch 2 will be big? Yes, this year alone we're getting Metroid, Pokemon, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart. But personally, I don't feel like it is Nintendo. The games feel like Nintendo, but the console doesn't bring joy. And I miss the announcements when we had Reggie in the forefront of everything. You knew who was running Nintendo. Now it just feels so corporate. Doug Bowser has taken over and we don't even know what he does. Does he even like video games? And it kind of reflects in the system. It feels safe, samey, unwilling to push boundaries to try something new. It's almost as, we found what works. We don't need to change. I'm excited to see where the Switch 2 goes, but honestly, at the same time, I'm not. I mean, I'm happy as long as the games are good, but I am a little worried. So, last thoughts, don't buy this right now. It's not worth it. You don't need it. Again, unless you just can't contain the urge to play Mario Kart, then go for it. I hope all scalpers lose hundreds of dollars, and that if anyone truly does want one, I hope you get it. But I bet you'll come to the same conclusion as me. Great new system, but it's just a Switch 1 with better graphics.